Remember how many times you used to do the messages for your voicemail? It goes something like this. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for locking into another episode of I'll Piss You Off Shortly. This is the podcast where we debate everyday issues, pushing your thought process beyond what's normal. The topics discussed here are meant to be intense, promote growth, and at times may have you feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Me too, a little bit. We may not always agree, and we will more than likely have varied opinions. But with that being said, I can't promise to be your favorite podcaster. Neither do I want to. But I can promise to be transparent, fair, and open-minded. So please, if you think you've got the stamina, passion to debate, analyze, and challenge the normal, please take a number. I promise you, I'll piss you off shortly. I don't know. I'm gonna just make sure I can hear for myself. So hopefully I don't hear any feedback. But hopefully
We're on.
nope. But nobody can hear us though.
Still?
Oh,
You hear us now?
we're good. Okay, cool.
All
Cool. We're good. What's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome once again to the marvelous, the outstanding, the amazing podcast named I'll Piss You Off Shortly. As we always say, we have probably the top, one of the best names in podcasts.
Everybody loves the name of this podcast.
Everybody loves it. We love it. You guys love it. Welcome to I'll Piss You Off Shortly podcast. I'm Rob Benjamin, your host, and alongside of me to my left, your right, my other host, Joe Aguirre. Joe, we've done this once, but I'm going to ask you again for the audience. How you been?
Yeah, great. Thank goodness it was nothing urgent.
Good thing. I remember back in the day when I was young, not to say I was an intern, but, working with, not the same industry, but I know, if I had something wrong, I would be sweating. I'm glad our production crew worked vigorously and hard to get our audio going. Thank you, Sketchy Peasant, as always. But I didn't see anybody sweating.
No, nobody here was nervous.
Nobody
but you know
was
what it
nervous.
is? I think I give off a very calm vibe.
We're very relaxed here. It's good. And maybe, that's what I heard. So I hear, and maybe we can get the confirmation from our lovely production crew that definitely got us up and running. But, are our generations too tough? I heard that we're sarcastic assholes, and not millennials, Gen Zers don't know how to take our sarcasm or feel like it's unnecessary. I don't know.
Oh, that's a thing, I guess. They don't like the sarcasm. I've seen that. They think that by joking about things that you're not taking it serious. And I think it hurts their feelings.
Oh, well, we don't want to hurt feelings here.
Well, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I get it. I do.
But yeah, so glad you guys stuck with us for this little technical difficulty. I promise you we're not going to turn this into a 3-hour or maybe even a 2-hour. We're just going to sit here, shoot the shit, hit some little key points that I thought were important, especially this week, to kind of dive into. We were talking earlier about the Mayweather-Paul fight. Not to get into a big old deep dive, but one of the things that we were talking about was how just the interesting how it's going to bring an interest to boxing now, and how possibly you might start to see these kind of fights, these celebrity fights, get intermixed with some of the bigger fights. But then you were also saying what happens when Jake Paul gets a couple million versus a real good fighter that might get paid less. Even if it's one of those top-ranked fights. So, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, the whole thing was ridiculous. Floyd Mayweather's been accused of hand-picking or cherry-picking opponents for the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
He's like cherry-picking Paul brothers. He's got a beef with the other one, who's actually fought a couple of fights. Why wouldn't you fight that one?
Well, apparently the bigger brother, the one that he fought, was the actual true fighter. He was the one that trained the younger brother.
The other one's got fights under his belt, though. He literally has. That's the one that knocked out Nate Robinson.
Wait, do you really call that a fight, though?
Yes.
Okay.
There's two men standing there. One punched the other one in the face. Was that a fight last night? That was pathetic.
I didn't watch it. I wasn't
I
definitely
saw
wasting,
the highlights.
I wasn't wasting my bandwidth.
Dude, there was
or
a
my
point
$50.
where he caught Floyd with a left and an overhand right. Like, what is it? Your first day boxing?
It from the pictures it looked like it, and then I saw a video of where it looked like Mayweather actually might
holding
have
him up.
knocked him out.
Yeah.
And then like was holding him up and trying to keep him up.
Yeah, he
there,
did drill
which-
that kid with a wicked left hook.
Yeah.
And definitely let him hang on.
So yeah.
Yeah, the point wasn't for anybody to win. The point was to make money.
Which they did.
Well, this is what somebody said to me. They said, Floyd Mayweather is getting $40 million for this fight.
Which 90,
Okay.
90% of
Okay.
the back or 90% of pay-per-view and then whatever up front.
So because he got paid $40 million, does that make him a great fighter?
No.
Because Vin Diesel got $40 million for Fast and Furious 8. Anybody want to call him a great actor?
Not after Fast and Furious 8.
Yeah.
Like
So-
maybe the first two. Like
Right.
the other ones, I don't know. But yeah,
Just because you get paid to do something doesn't make you great at it.
once again, see, there we go. We might not get paid. I said here, we have probably one of the best podcasts out on any platform. We don't get paid like some of these other podcasts that might not be at the same caliber as us, but hey, we'll get there eventually.
Oh, we will.
Oh yeah. As you guys can see now, look at all these multiple camera views. I like it. I like it. It's really looking good. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the production, and then also about the fight? I see a couple people saying that the fight was a joke. What's up, Speaking of Real? You guys can always catch them every Friday night. And then Sketchy says Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul did that for money purposes only. I did not watch it either. I'm with you, Sketchy. I wasn't about to waste my time, energy, or funds to go watch what I knew was just going to be kind of like for show, shits and giggles. It was a shits and giggles fight. I heard that Ocho Cinco though had a better fight than those two.
Yeah, he went down though. He got popped pretty good.
I give it to him though. He actually gave it a full blown out fight. Like he was like, I'm going into it all or nothing. He trained up the right way apparently, and he had a good fight. Not saying that he won, but no, it was both of those fights were no decision and they just went to draw. But it was good. Good job, Ocho Cinco. If you were to, no, we'll start before we go into that topic. First and foremost, I wanted to say I apologize to everybody that's celebrating Pride Month. Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride, not even just Pride Month, because I hate when it's like Happy Black History Month. So let me keep it with that same respect. Happy Pride Month to everybody. And if you're celebrating, may you all celebrate. If you have a family member that super feels uncomfortable this month, make them feel even more uncomfortable this month, and just like let them know that like Pride is here and it's here to stay. I like the fact that like Pride is in June, so it, like opens up like the beautiful weather, like the beautiful season, and like a very fun time, fun atmosphere, right? So like with that being said, I went to my first drag show this weekend.
How'd you enjoy that?
Right? It was I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy all the performers. Right.
Okay, that's good.
But there was a performer, there was a queen that like did a whole Beyonce stint, and I was like, yeah, set the whole park. Like, so we were on like the South Green of Middletown, and said it like everybody was standing up out of their lawn chairs, and like I was like, holy crap, she got it. There was I think there was like 9 performers out of the 9 queens. I probably enjoyed 4. The other ones I can tell. So what I learned, right? So, off of the things that I learned, right? So during a show, you go from like, so the first performer is probably like more of an amateur, and then you have like your main event, towards the end, main performer at the end. So I didn't know that. So of course, I can't even say like maybe the third performer I liked. So it was like 1, 2, cool. The third one was cool. Had like another maybe dry 1 or 2, and then Beyonce came. Like the Beyonce performer came out, set it on stage, and they went to an intermission, which was long as hell. It was like an hour-and-a-half intermission. I was able to walk like all of downtown Middletown and back.
That's solid.
But and then another like 2 performers, and then I like the last one, right? So, but I love the fact that it's just everybody's super supportive. Like it doesn't matter. I was able to get schooled and educated on some things because I was, not to say ignorant, because I was corrected that I wasn't ignorant. I just didn't know better, right? The fact that I thought that like you could be drag and just be like a performer. I figured that, some people just like performing, but no, they said no. Normally it's somebody that orientates and, is very in tune with with the female energy, right? So I said, oh, okay, cool. The woman energy, female energy. If I get it incorrect, please, once again, hit me in the comments. But, so yeah, it was very entertaining. I didn't, and that's like to say that the performers that I did not like, and not to say I didn't like, I just wasn't entertained. And it wasn't like the music or whatever, because one of the performers that I actually like was like a country show. Like it kind of had like a country theme and country song, right? So it was just more of like just the performance. I would say like the overall, like I wasn't energized. Like it was just very kind of bland. They pulled out a flag. Of course everybody cheered, but it wasn't thrilling. Whereas the other performers, they got you engaged. And we were in the back just because we kind of got late. We were there a little bit late, but it was in a big old field. So everybody, but like the other performers had me even up trying to look and see. It was cool. So felt very at home and just comfortable. So I literally challenge anybody that's not scared or not ignorant. Check one out. And like they get some money, man. They tip. That was the other thing. It was interesting because it was one of the fair warnings, and one of the queens had said, one of the MCs was like, all right, white women, this is for y'all, especially for y'all, because y'all tend to put money in places that, is not appropriate for us. So, but it was, of course, in a joking manner. But it was funny to hear that, they still, well, not they, but drag queens have that issue too. Like, like strippers, like if you're the strip club, they and hey, so. Congratulations to Middletown Pride. You guys had a great Pride event. They actually painted their sidewalk. So like one of their crosswalks. Like,
oh yeah.
Like dead smack in the middle of Main Street, Middletown. Painted like all in support of Pride. So pretty dope. Pretty dope.
I talked to a guy today who asked me when White History Month is.
I would say like December.
It's the other 11 months out of the year. And he was like, well, that used to be true. But now there's Gay Pride Month. There's Black History Month. There's Asian Month. There's Transgender Month. He's like, when's White People's Month? When can I say I'm proud of being white?
You have July 4th.
Well, that's America. That's America. That's like...
No.
What do you think of that thought, though? And I've heard people say this before, and I thought it was stupid. But as he and I were talking, I didn't really have a good answer for him. Can you be proud to be white?
You can, but what do you? We had this kind of conversation before. What are you being proud of? Like
my great grandfather's heritage.
But are you white? But that's exactly. So
I know.
Like, what
that's
are you
what it
of?
is.
Like, what if you can give me a solid thing to be proud of?
Let me give you one better too. I said to him, I was like, "Well, look," and he's a really smart guy. I said, "Look," I said, not for nothing. I'm like, but Black history's been kind of squashed in the history books. I said, most people think George Washington Carver invented peanut butter, and he said, "Wait, didn't he?" And I said, no, he worked with peanuts. The guy, I think either Jiffy or Skippy, or maybe Skippy Jiffy, is who invented peanut butter. It wasn't George Washington Carver. He was busy creating experiments with peanuts. Yeah.
Marcellus Gilmore Edson of Canada patented
That's the peanut butter guy.
Paste, the finished product from milling roasted peanuts between two heated surfaces in 1985. Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, the creator of Kellogg cereals, patented a process for creating peanut butter from raw peanuts.
But we have Black History Month because people still think George Washington Carver invented peanut butter.
But you know who thinks that? It's not black people.
Well, do you know what he invented? Do you know what kind of work he did?
He
I don't mean to call you out. I mean, if you know, you know. That's good. I think everybody should know that.
He invented
great person.
Yeah, he worked around peanut base. He worked around that kind of scientific, but it was beyond that too as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what I'm not gonna sit there and say.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We should all celebrate George Washington Carver
for who he was.
You can sit there and be pissed off that there's Black History Month, or not for nothing, spend 28 fucking days and learn something.
which makes sense.
You know, it's been 28 days for how many years out of your life, and you're still stuck on that you think George Washington Carver created peanut butter.
If you were to ask me that question when I was like 14, to
Yes.
like whatever, I would have bombed.
Rob, I would
But
have
now-
said, did you know George Washington Carver created peanut
But
butter?
at
That's
this
what we
point-
all thought.
At this point, it's gotten to the point where it's just like, yeah, I know he didn't make peanut butter, and that was like the wrong thing because I was taught that he made peanut butter, and then I was corrected as a young person that he wasn't, and this is exactly what he did. He did, all these sciences and peanuts and all this other kind of shit. It wasn't just the regular peanut; it was all these other kind of things, right? But at that point, cool in it. But now I know, you know what I mean? I know that no, he didn't make peanut butter, but that was just the ignorance that I had learned from school, and I had to
Right
be
on.
corrected from somebody else.
I'm sure a teacher told me that when I was a kid.
And yeah, that's pretty.
You know,
sure
and I don't think they were saying it like to be mean. I think the teacher was like, well, like, you know, did you know great African American named George Washington Carver created peanut butter?
Yeah.
And you have it on your sandwiches and with your crackers. Of course, you can't have peanut butter in school now because, you know, other kids are allergic to it.
That's how they erased. That's how they got peanut butter out of it. You know, that's how they erased it out of the history books.
You know, God, now that you're saying it, they're like, oh, a black guy made
That's-
peanut butter.
Let's get that out of here.
Get rid of it.
Suckers, you got rid of your own people's stuff. So yeah,
Because that hurts all of us.
that does. So since we're kind of on the topic of like learning things and like younger children and allergies and medical things, right?
Yeah.
We both have children the same age. We both have boys the same age. Recently in the news, it was brought up that there was a school educating first graders on private areas. And not just like their private areas, but they're teaching their private areas and sexual how do I put this?
Exploration.
Yeah, sexual exploration.
it.
And you know what I mean? Now, we're gonna play the video, right? And we're gonna kind of like discuss it a little bit. But we're gonna play the video. Let me see. I gotta make sure. Why am I telling? No, that's Orange County. That's a cop. The little dinosaur.
Oh, my
The
Lord.
dinosaur. The little baby dinosaur.
Sometimes when I'm in my bath, I like to touch my vulva. It talks like
so
that.
exactly. So this is the type of video that that the teachers have been showing. So parents were very upset, and of course I believe this is in California, but so the lesson. End quote. The lessons were taught by Justine Anti-Fog, the now notorious health and wellness education at Dalton, who had previously received backlash for teaching an explicit porn literacy workshop to juniors at Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School. One of those videos used by Fonte's lessons features a cartoon version of herself, which talks about kids sometimes touching themselves for pleasure. One of the quotes says, "Hey, how come my penis gets bigger, gets big sometimes and points in the air?" Asks the little boy, which Fonte responds by explaining what an erection is. Sometimes I touch my penis because it feels good. The little boy continues. Are
Yeah.
we ready to show this video?
You know what, though? Not for nothing.
No? Okay.
Not for nothing. There are too many parents out there who call it your pee-pee, you know, or your front butt,
Yep.
and they don't address that stuff.
Gotcha.
And there's a reason a 6-year-old is like, how come my penis gets big? Well, he's got an erection. Maybe, I don't know, tell him what's going on there. As opposed to telling him if he touches it, it'll get bigger and explode. You know what I mean?
Something's wrong with it.
And then the kid's afraid of his penis completely. So that's the problem is, and we know this for a fact, Rob, that like at least half of the population are morons.
Yes.
And are teaching their kids, you know, that God put the baby in the belly and stuff like that, as opposed to, you know, semen and egg and all that. So this is where we are.
And that was one of the points, though, in the actual video. And it was kind of like the narrator was saying, you know, sometimes mommy and daddies are too nervous or scared to actually have the conversation. I personally didn't find an issue with it. Now, first grade, I don't know. I feel like my son, he's going into first grade. So I said, okay, perfect. Going into first grade, would I be mad if he came home and I found out that he was learning about that? Probably not. But maybe if you give the parents a heads up It seems like the parents weren't given a heads up, like, hey, this week's lesson is about X, Y, and Z. Which,
Well, now here's
at
why
least I
I'm
know
gonna
where
shoot,
he's going.
Here's why I'm going to shoot that down.
yep.
Typically speaking, if you make a big deal about something to a kid, what do?
Take it in, yeah,
Overreact.
it blows up.
I think if you say to the kid, "This is going to be a controversial lesson,"
No,
so
not
make
do
sure
that.
moms and you know what I mean. I just think if you make because too, even if you just, hey, parents, we're going to be talking about this, some asshole's going to be like, "Not my kid." You know, and again, it's
Gotcha.
going to become a whole thing. I think, you know what? You didn't call up and ask what the geography lesson was this week, you know, or what we're studying in chemistry class. Let the teachers teach. As far, and because again, I saw in this article, indoctrination,
Yep.
I guess that's to what? Being a liberal? I mean, do only liberals jerk off? Because if that's the case, I think we're all liberals then.
They must be, because I can't think of any conservatives that want to just jerk off abandoning babies like that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, at any stage, but
Listen, if there's one thing we should all be on the same page on, it should be masturbating.
perfectly honestly.
I'm just saying.
Hell,
I think everybody.
I think I started late, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I think I started late. If I remember correctly, I had to been maybe like between 11 and like 13. So I feel like I started late.
I want to say I was in 3rd or 4th grade.
Oh, lucky you.
And I'll tell you why.
My math could be off. My math
I
could
went
be
to
very off.
listen. I went to a parochial school
Okay.
that was run by nuns, and then they hired lay people.
Mm-hmm.
And the first group in were beasts.
Okay.
They might as well have all been nuns, if you know what I mean, right? And then when I got to the 3rd and 4th grade, they hired a 1st grade teacher who was smoking hot. And we had like a social, like she was like the resource teacher. Like if you left your class to go to
You had to go
social
talk to
studies
her?
or vocab, whatever it was. And I remember I was in the 3rd or 4th grade because it was just the where I was in the building.
Mhm.
And she used to dangle her high heel off her foot.
Oh yeah. You
Yeah,
couldn't go
under
up.
the
You
desk,
couldn't
and
go
I'm
answer
just
any
like-
question. You couldn't go.
The whole class, I was just focused on that lady. I wish somebody would have told me what was happening. I mean, I didn't focus for most of 1984. You know what I
Just
mean?
completely
I don't
just
even
out of it.
remember anything about social studies from
You just
1984.
remember those legs.
Dude, I just remember wanting to go home as quick as I could, Rob. Like as fast as I could, I had to get home.
Let's see what everybody's saying here. Anybody got any?
I'm not even making that up at all. Her name was Sharon.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure she's probably not still.
She's wicked old now.
But yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
would-
she was pretty hot.
I was about to say so, but let's hear. Speaking of real says there's a time in life when the kids need to know about their penis and vaginas. I don't think 1st grade is the right time. Parents need to know when it will be taught. I agree with it right there. Like definitely know when it needs to be taught. Let's see. Sketchy says kids like, and that's what I'm saying. Like not like giving everybody a full blown heads up. Like don't let the kids know.
Sure.
But to me, I honestly I don't care because he's gonna learn it either way. Like 1st grade, it may be like at this point, that might be the time because kids are fucking in middle school.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when I was in 8th grade, there was a girl like almost ready to like deliver a baby.
Yeah.
And we were in 8th grade. So like I'm low key jealous because now like I'm pretty sure her son is like almost ready to graduate high school and she can really go live her adult life if she, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time,
yeah.
like kids are out here in middle school fucking. So
Yeah.
is it better to be like prep them now
You're
earlier
better
than
off telling them in 1st grade and not coming too late in the 4th grade
exactly.
because that could happen.
Definitely.
Listen again, and I'm guessing this might be Frank. This probably is Frank. There's a time in life, right, when the kids need to know about their penis and vagina. He spelled there wrong, so it's definitely Frank. Dude, again, I would say, I mean, every 6-year-old is different.
Yeah.
You know, but some of them are pretty smart. And so, yeah, I think as soon as you start talking about stuff, you should say penis and vagina and not your wahoo and your hee-hee.
Mhm.
You know? You
I
got to be
still-
serious about that shit. Let them know what the real deal is, and
Yeah.
then tell them you don't grab your junk in public.
See, we say penis, we say junk. Yeah, and other than that, we say stinky though. It's just something that caught the stinky. If you take, I don't feel like just, hey man, you took a shit. Oh, you went stinky. All right, cool.
Well, that's funny,
That's fine. But
and it is Frank. I knew it was you,
See?
Frank. Long day at the
let
car
him out the
wash.
car. See, look at that. Shit. Talking about, since we're talking about stinky, this is something that came up to mind. It actually became like a kind of subject, right? So here I am, everybody. I'm messaging Joe. I'm fucking trying to conduct some business, right? And I never call Joe until I feel like it's important. I know everybody probably hits up Joe because they feel it's important, but for me, like literally, unless
Thank you.
you know what I mean? Like if I
appreciate
call,
that.
I feel like pick up because I'm calling. Not because I'm important, but it's actually something. And it was something.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to blow you up. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing something cool, whatever, we'll get to it. So I call Joe. Joe hits me back literally like instantly, says, hey, I'll call you back in the bathroom. So I didn't think nothing of it until like 5 minutes down the road when I'm just like, how, like the away message, like, cool. I'm glad he let me know, but I started making me think about me. So the times that I've let people know, like, hey, bro, I'm in the bathroom, hit you right back. I low-key started to feel like that's kind of embarrassing. But to you, I was probably like, he probably doesn't even give a damn. But do you feel that you might be judged off of that? Like, so say bet, even though you never hit me back.
I know.
Never
Well, I should tell
responded.
you, it was a long stinky,
So
if you know what I mean.
So bet. So do you feel like, I feel like whenever I tell somebody, like that's my cut time. So like now I have like 3 minutes to call this person back so they don't like judge me for how long
you were
I've
really
been.
in there.
Yeah, you're
fucking
in it.
banging it
Yeah.
up. All right.
Like imagine me like
Is that what you're actually asking me?
yeah, like I definitely would have judged you.
Well, I
If
was
you would have
only-
called me.
The other
Like-
reason, can I tell you? Let me tell you why I told you what was going on.
I'm not judging you for telling me.
No,
Like,
no.
yeah,
But
no,
I
no.
wanted you to know because you called and I literally had just sat down.
Oh, so you were just right in the
I
mix.
was literally, and I was like, oh God. Like I'm gonna be like at least 10 minutes
So, yeah.
in here, and I wanted you to know that that I wasn't busy.
Got you. But yeah, you were.
But I would
handling
get you right
business.
back, and that's why I'm in the bathroom.
Yeah,
I
and
don't.
Courtesy,
I wouldn't
right? Yeah.
normally. You're in an exclusive group that would have got that sort of TMI.
Which is cool, which
Yeah.
I appreciate.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I said, literally when I saw the text, I put the phone out and said, oh, he's not going to hit me back for a while.
I wasn't in there for so long. If you're asking this question, I wasn't in there for like 45 minutes.
Oh,
and
no,
just
no, not that
didn't
at all.
call you back.
It was just more of the, like, and where I'm going with it is the modern day away message.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's a very funny, like, kind of a modern day away message, right? And then it got me thinking, literally not too long with my new job, right? We use a certain program, and literally, like, it's instantaneous. You can contact whatever, everybody, and I look at everybody's active status, and then like everybody has like a little away message, like out for lunch, out for this. So me being new, I don't necessarily know when
To
to
turn
like
it on.
put it on, and then I don't know what to put. Now there's some good ones, there's some like just basic standard ones. You know, I'm just like trying to get into that mix. So it had me thinking about how important the away message, I guess, still is.
Yeah.
Because I haven't had to use an away message outside of, verbal, like, hey, hit you right back. But AIM days, it had me thinking about the AIM days, the instant messenger. Were you an instant messenger user?
Oh, I loved AIM. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was a big fan of the instant messenger.
So bet. So it was interesting just to see him, but I'm not staying on this long. But it was interesting to see how like the instant messenger, because I remember I would had an instant message, the away message from when I left school. If I was able to log in or like hack the computers to get on, I would put another one, and then when I got back, it was a different pertinent one. But it was good to see like who would jump right on or who, you know what I mean, get away.
yeah.
The pertinent of the way message. Sorry, I literally have like the biggest itch in my nose, and I'm not trying to be nasty because we have these amazing cameras that are like sitting there. Let's see here. I use the I'm in the bathroom at least 3 to 5 times a day when people text me. It's a clutch go-to response when you need some extra time. And that's the other thing. Like, I don't think you were blowing me off. Like, I figured you were really in the bathroom. But do you use that sometimes? Is that like an easy, just kind of cop out?
No,
to buy
no.
yourself?
First of all,
I've
I'll
used
tell
it
you,
a couple times as a cop out.
I could come up with a much better lie than I'm in the bathroom. But you know what kills me is, and you know, funny, Sketchy saw me earlier today doing the roll call. I mean, I go live multiple times a day, and I gotta tell you, and I'm sure some of you are watching right now, the amount of people that call me or text me when I'm live is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing is I have a hard time lying to people
Gotcha.
because I don't know if you're
Wonder.
watching me or not. You could be watching. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Someone's all hit me up and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm feeling under the weather. And they're like, I'm watching your show.
I'm literally watching
like
you
30
talk
of you
right
been
now.
screaming your face off. You sound fine. You know?
That's
So
cool.
it's tough. I can't really hide from people. So
But that's what I usually. That's what I do. Like if I'm not sure if you're busy, I'll go and see if like you're on a show.
it's a good
And
place
then-
to look.
And then if you're not usually up there, I'll go from there.
Jared Jones, our buddy from Throwing Jabs, got some great news a few weeks
Nice.
back with they're expediting Scrub Scraps, his boxing gym, which is like a rehab. It's a great,
Nice.
and we'll be talking about it in the future once it happens. But
Okay.
he got this great news, and he was watching us on Divided We Stand, and then we were on this show, and he texted me, and I saw the text, and I was like, oh yeah, like I even looked into the cameras, and I was like.
Yeah,
2
live,
minutes later, like he got all excited and he called and I'm like
bro.
looking at my phone and then looking at the camera like Jared.
You know what I'm
Come
doing
on.
right now. You see exactly what
Um,
I'm doing.
But yeah, no, it happens a lot. It happens a lot. Well, matter of fact, I bet you when I get off the air,
You have a
it'll be blown up.
like they don't know that we record. I'll
Yeah.
push you off shortly. Mondays
It'll be
at
Frank
9
saying he
PM.
doesn't have enough money to pay this month. I think Frank waits till I'm on air to make that call.
That's the easiest way to
Yeah.
just let them know, like, hey,
Yeah,
no,
that's
you won't
it.
get a response.
I should start taking your calls live, Frank.
Ooh, when that Rodecaster Pro gets on,
I'm
we're gonna
just
connect.
joking.
That's
Frank is you know what? As a matter of fact, Frank sometimes doesn't pay his child support in order to pay us.
funny. Hey, that's a good man.
I'm just playing.
Dedication right there. Dedication.
Frank. He's a good dude. Anyway, make sure you check out Speaking It Real. We giving him enough of our time. Oh, he's moving to Wednesday nights, by the way.
Wednesday nights. All right.
Yeah. Wednesday, they're doing Wednesday and Friday, but I think
Wednesday and Fridays.
Wednesday's going to be the main show now.
Ooh.
Here's what they're seeing, because look, it's opening up. People are starting to go out on Fridays,
Yep. Nobody wants to listen to somebody on a Friday night.
so we're gonna move it up to Wednesday.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well, are we ready to pay some bills? Let's pay a bill with a CMG, something.
you know what's funny? I just noticed without having headphones on that my hair looks totally ridiculous.
It's time to cut.
It probably is. So tomorrow night, real quick, big announcement. Very excited. Tomorrow night on Divided We Stand, and you'll be with me.
Oh yeah.
And you can't call him a racist no matter what he says.
Whoa.
I'm already putting that out there.
I don't know if he said some racist shit.
Very good friend of mine. He's a police officer. He was the vice president of the Maine Association of Police for many, many years. And I used to do a lot of. I've always done a lot. I was very supportive of the police. And as I told him today, I'm like, you guys just gotta stop killing people because I support what you're doing.
Mhm.
But he's gonna come on tomorrow night, and we are gonna talk police. And he literally said to me, I was telling him about how I grew my hair out. And he said, if I see a man bun, I'm going to come down there and kick your ass. So,
Hey, now either you're gonna show up with a man bun or he's gonna have to kick somebody's ass.
yeah.
I'm willing to see how this
Sketchy,
goes.
man. Right? This is my dude.
Sketchy, don't cut you.
It's funny. The only reason my hair's still this length, to be honest, is my wife actually really digs it now. I'm not even joking.
If she's digging it, you might have to keep it.
In the middle of
You might
May,
have
when
to do it.
Connecticut started this soft open, I
Yep.
thought, I mean, I look like a jackass. I'm like, I should cut my hair, right? If I'm going to go out in public, I have to see people again. And literally, the only reason I have it is Jess is like, it looks really sexy on you. I kind of really dig it now.
There
It was
you
a
go.
joke for months on end, right? My daughter's sitting here on the production crew. She look at this kid. I mean, open disdain. You see the look on her face?
Just, yeah.
I'm like, oh, my daughter right here in the production crew, and this is the face she made.
That's funny.
She does not like it. But I don't know. Well, I'm going to rock it for a little bit longer because here's the thing. Once I cut it, I'm never growing it back like this again.
So you got to enjoy it while you're.
I'll never do it again.
I feel you.
But, you know, I mean, my hair was super short like a year ago. Well, actually, so when we first started doing the show,
Yeah.
my hair was,
Short.
yeah. Yeah.
Looks good. That's
Yeah,
great.
I like it. I don't know.
All right. Well, let's
We'll
go
see,
ahead.
But I am noticing as I turn my head to the side.
Rocky
you
Hill.
got the man bun
maybe
pony angle.
maybe like leave it at shoulder length. Maybe when you drop it, like leave it at shoulder length, and then
You never know.
All right. Well, yeah.
We'll see.
Let's go ahead and pay some bills.
Hill Accountants offers a unique, low-pressure approach to professional and personal services, which is why they have an excellent client retention rate and are extremely proud of the high-quality services that their firm provides. The executive team at Rocky Hill Accountants has over 35 years of combined experience in income tax preparation, bookkeeping, accounting, and IT crypto tax. They specialize in individual income tax preparation, as well as trusts, estates, and gift tax returns. The tax deadline for individuals is May 17th. If you're one of the 50 million Americans who still hasn't filed, visit Rocky Hill Accountants.
And we are back, I guess. So bet. Not staying long. We're gonna make this real short and sweet, right? Real quick. Not real quick. Why is everything so fucking expensive outside?
What do you mean?
Like everything is just expensive. It's expensive to go outside. It's expensive to go eat. I'm not gonna sit there and say gas is expensive because it's still fairly decent. But like it just feels like the price of things are just rising. It feels like if you want to go somewhere to eat, like restaurants are charging. Like of course, like you need the workers and stuff like that. But let's just like, I don't know. Like okay, bet. Looking for a used vehicle. I've been looking for actively looking, but occasionally been. Hey, if I ever get a chance, I'm gonna get this vehicle. Well, now I have the fucking chance.
Yeah.
I have. You know what I mean? These vehicles are overpriced. Used vehicles are through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's due to the chip shortage, but it's just
Yeah.
like outside overall, because of this pandemic, it's just expensive as hell.
Have you seen the price of lumber?
Exactly.
Very expensive.
Housing, I was like, oh, let me just see what's on the housing market. Just shits and giggles.
Prices are through the roof.
Through the roof. Like, I'm looking at a house and I'm like, there's no way in hell no. So, I think now I'm just going to go ahead and just keep my money. I definitely have to get a vehicle, but I was given not the ultimatum, but like hey, are you really going to keep riding this bike all year round? Or can we go ahead and get something that's going to So my goal is to sacrifice a little bit, pay off the bike in a year, and then, so that way I can have best of both worlds. A little bit of sacrifice.
Well, that's what you got to do when you're an adult.
Gotta do what you
Rob.
gotta do.
That's what happens.
But yeah,
Can't, I want a boat. Kids want to go to college. I guess the kids get to go to college.
I went on a boat this weekend, and boats are so much fun. But the best thing about boats is when you don't own it.
Yeah.
You just have to have the friends that have boats. I had the time of my life yesterday with the family, and a couple of families that were on the boat with us. But like I tried wakeboarding for the first time. Definitely didn't get up. Took in a lot of lake water, so definitely hydrated for like the next 2 months.
That's good. That's good.
But yeah, so hopefully if you do get a boat, let us know. We'd more than happily pitch in for some fuel and go on the boat with you.
So I have a pool.
Yep.
Which I imagine is a lot like a boat in that it's much better when someone else owns it.
Yes.
I hate it.
Either you enjoy it or you're just working for it.
Right. How many times in our pre-show meeting did I run to check on my pool filter tonight?
About 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So
And when I'm not checking on the pool filter, I'm literally brushing the side of it.
it's always something.
No, yeah.
That's why I hate pools. Like,
People are always like, "Oh, you must love having a pool." I'm like,
No.
"Oh yeah,
It's the worst.
Nothing
You're
like
always-
30 hours of maintenance."
And that's the thing. So and hear me out. I used to hate it because you go through all that work to clean it, and it's clean. You're like, all I want to do is just get fresh, but you're so nasty and disgusting. You don't want to get into a nice clean pool you just
Yeah.
did. So
I rarely go in the pool after I've cleaned it.
exactly. It's
Rarely.
tiring, so All right. There was something about my. We're not gonna talk about Mount Rushmore trends.
Well, we got to put that masturbation video on the Facebook page for sure.
We will. We'll leave that as a topic, and then we can all kind of get that and get a feel for how everybody's feeling. We'll get an idea of how everybody's feeling.
Get a real feel for that
Yeah, 'cause I
video.
really
If
wanna
you know
get
what
it.
we mean.
Let's see. I guess really there were some videos. Do we have videos for the PPP loans? Oh, we have those videos. All right, bet. So I saw these videos of PPP loan fraudulent people getting like caught and everything else like that. I wanted to show these videos just based off of like we can see what people are actually like purchasing with these loans. Because when you see
Nothing good, I'm betting.
nothing good. Well, no, they're buying some good things, but you're just like, first and foremost, there's outside of small businesses that have just shut down left and right because they couldn't get funding due to fraudulent people like this. And then also, I don't want to shy away from the big corporations that didn't need the fucking money that still filed for it. Like, you know, all these big companies have done it, to include Tom Brady, you and your fucking company. Like, which I'm still pissed off about that. Tom Brady fucking took a fucking PPP loan and then ended up buying a fucking boat. But then also, before we get to these videos, it had me thinking, because I went deep diving. Like, I went and somebody was like, hey, you know, you can look up a business or just look up its public listing. And the amount of churches that I saw are getting PPP loans.
How does a church get a? Don't
Joe,
you have to pay taxes to get the loan?
Thank you. I was like,
how does that
shouldn't you have to
work?
pay taxes to have the first and foremost to qualify for the loan? You're a nonprofit. You're a church. You don't pay taxes at all. And Joe, fuck it. I'm going to pull up. I had one up there. There was a church up there that got like $80,000, Joe. What do you need for $80,000 in the church when you don't pay any taxes? You don't pay any taxes, so all of your shit is for profit.
Right.
What do you need a PPP
and
loan
all
for?
of it should be paid for with, the second collection this month.
Exactly.
That's what that's for. You're supposed to.
I feel like
It's messed up.
to get like, if your church, if you have a big business, you should have had to liquidate a bunch of things like personal properties, like all your executives maybe should have had to given up their like luxury vehicles and all that other shit, and then you can qualify for a loan. If you're a church and your like pastor drives a Bentley, you don't need it. And I think like some of those big mega churches like down south, they got them too. But outside of the churches, let's go ahead and show the Florida man who decided to buy a mansion, a luxury car.
Oh, come on.
And
An OC man is accused of taking millions of dollars from the government and spending it on exotic race cars. Investigators say he went to great lengths to cash in on the business program.
KCAL 9 Orange County reporter Stacy Butler with how they say he pulled off the scheme.
A Ferrari, a Bentley, a Lamborghini, millions of dollars worth of sports cars purchased with your tax dollars, the feds say, by a scam artist who defrauded a pandemic relief fund.
Instead of using the money like a legitimate business to, help the business stay afloat, instead what's alleged is that he used the money for his own personal expenses, to take lavish vacations, and to purchase 3 luxury sports cars, a Bentley, a Ferrari, and a Lamborghini.
Investigators say last spring, 38-year-old Mustafa Kadiri applied for $5 million in PPP loans and got them. They say he used fake companies. He even had 4 business addresses in Newport Beach, websites online, and social media pages. But all of it, say investigators, were fake. Earlier this week, a federal grand jury indictment that was returned charges Kadiri with bank and wire fraud, identity theft, and money laundering.
The number of businesses that closed over the last year plus, the number of people hurting out there, and that there are unscrupulous actors who take advantage of, what's a government program supposed to help people.
The people who truly needed help are reacting. Melody Bridges has a dance studio in the San Fernando Valley. She got a loan and barely survived.
It angers us. We had to go through so much stress to get the PPP loan. Without it, we would have gone under. The government, I think, had to work so hard to try to help small businesses like ours stay afloat during this incredibly challenging time in the world right now that everyone's going through, and to take advantage of it just I think creates massive problems for anything like this to happen in the future or in times of trouble.
He's being held on $100,000 bail. A jury trial is scheduled June 29th.
So bet. Here we go, right? These companies are out here. Well, first and foremost, this guy has made multiple companies and fraudulent paperwork, which I didn't even realize it was that easy to just make a fraud. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm struggling trying to figure out my LLC for this, for I'll Piss You Off Shortly, right? Or so I can actually brand it and get that situated. But here we are with somebody making multiple businesses, multiple fake, like, web pages, all this shit to make it seem like they're legit businesses. Millions of dollars, right? And then, of course, unfortunately, fortunately for the ballet teacher, she was able to like keep her business. But next, we're gonna go to the guy that decided to pretty much end up being like Batman on steroids with his PPP frauds.
Oh my God!
And this is an Orange County man who was arrested, and I think he got like a couple Bentleys and so. So I did play the part, but yeah. And, well, we're still waiting for. No, if it's gonna take a minute, then don't worry about it. Yeah, all right, cool, back. You guys get the picture. Well, we want to play it. We got it.
Busted.
I promise we're gonna get all this stuff situated.
Cars. Investigators say
And now
he
to
went
what's
to
being
great
called
lengths to
a
cash in on the
multi-million
business
dollar
program.
scheme to
KCAL 9
defraud the
Orange County
feds. A man
reporter
accused
Stacey
of using
Butler with how they say he pulled off the scheme.
A Ferrari, a Bentley, a Lamborghini, millions of dollars worth of sports cars purchased with your tax dollars, the feds say, by a scam artist who defrauded a pandemic relief fund.
Instead of using the money like a legitimate
payroll of nearly $3 million, but federal investigators say none of that was true. A federal grand jury has returned this indictment charging Don Cisternino of defrauding the federal government out of $7.2 million in COVID-19 relief funds. According to allegations in the indictment, Cisternino is accused of lying about his New York-based consulting company to get millions of dollars in payroll protection plan funds. Investigators say during 2019 and 2020, the company had few or no employees other than Cisternino and his girlfriend. According to the indictment, in April 2020, the Bradenton man submitted a fraudulent PPP loan application, including false supporting documents and bank statements. The application says the company had more than 400 employees. Charging documents indicate of the $7.2 million the couple received, more than $3 million of it went to this mansion. Property records show Cisternino and his girlfriend purchased the home in July 2020. The 12-acre estate boasts a British-style pub theater, 7 bedrooms, a tennis court, and a 5-stall horse barn. Investigators say it was paid for with PPP loan money. The grand jury indictment also claims a trail of evidence reveals Cisternino spent thousands of dollars on pricey vehicles like a Maserati, Lincoln Navigator, and a Mercedes-Benz, all in a span of months in 2020. And Cisternino has been indicted on 2 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of aggravated identity theft, and 3 counts of illegal monetary transaction.
Navigator.
That is ballsy,
Navigator,
dude.
Mercedes-Benz,
Wow.
a house.
The biggest house in town, for Christ's sake.
I don't think people realize that, like, with that kind of people are either going to know who you are or they're not. And they're going to wonder where, how, and
Yeah,
what,
look, let's say we've all, peddled some things in the past, right?
Yep.
I mean, isn't the whole trick to not look like that's what you're doing?
Not be obvious, not be so conspicuous. Like, or no, the point is to be conspicuous, right? Not
to be
blend it, right?
conspicuous, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
If it were to me, it would be like, if I were to be one of those guys, you wouldn't even see me. I would be like, who's the in the books, The Great Gatsby? Nobody knew who Gatsby was.
Yeah,
he was just rich. I would just be rich as hell, be a Gatsby. But all right, it's been an interesting show.
The Great Gatsby of dealing, I dig that.
See, yeah, like
smart.
If I were to be a drug dealer, I would, or like a kingpin, I wouldn't want anybody to know who I was, and that's all I do, right? Nobody know who I am, even if it was like a friend of a friend that was like, oh, that they don't. I want my name to be a ghost, kind
Did
of like
you ever
Power,
see
but like
Usual Suspects?
a while ago.
Okay.
A while ago.
It's the greatest movie of all time.
While ago.
Kaiser Soze.
Okay.
That's the bad guy.
Yep.
And they suspect it's all the badass guys.
Gotcha.
And it ends up being the cripple.
Okay. Gotcha. It vaguely.
And he
vaguely,
says at the
vaguely,
end, the
vaguely.
greatest trick the devil ever played was convincing the world that he didn't exist. Badass Spacey. That was before he was diddling kids.
Oh Jesus! That reminds me of the Greek from The Wire. Anybody that was seeing it? That's my correlation. Greek from The Wire.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, so next week I promise we're gonna have a fulfilled, eventful show. We just had to work out our technical difficulties, and fortunately for me, like I have a real job to get to in the morning, so I don't even want to be out here super. tired.
dang.
Not even say real job, but like I'm in that training phase. So like where you're like you don't want to be the late one to the party,
Can't
and
be
you
the last
don't want
guy.
to be,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be this guy either. You know, especially in video chats where you're just like, oh, I got to catch myself. So, but yeah, but next week I promise everybody we're gonna get it right. We're gonna have everything going. We're gonna have a fully functional show. Sketchy. Let's see here. Let's get some comments in before we head out of here. Before any company gets a PPP loan, they should have the executives take a pay cut. See, there we go. Local tenants in Miami. Oh, see, it's y'all Miami folks out here. You probably
It's
watched one of his
always the
Bentleys and his
Florida
expensive
people.
cars
Yeah,
that he has.
Right? Is he one of your clients?
Uh-huh. Sketchy says, Don's sisters Nino bought himself a ticket to federal penitentiary. People like Don and Mustafa need to face maximum punishment for their crimes. What happens to people making an honest living?
Isn't it funny, though, that rich people are more likely to commit crimes than people who really need to?
Yes.
Like, rich people will see an opportunity like that, and they know that shit's wrong, and they do it anyway.
What is it?
And not because they need to. Like, earlier we were talking about community policing, right? We were talking about the need.
Mhm.
You need to do that crime because you need to keep your lights on. This motherfucker needed a house with a tennis court.
Who was it, Bernie Madoff? Or who was the dude that stole mad money from...
Yeah, Bernie Madoff.
Madoff, yeah. And they have an HBO series about him now. And people were still trying to give him money after he
Yeah, he's a
scammed...
fucking hero.
It's crazy.
He's a hero. If he was a black guy,
Oh, different story.
there wouldn't be no movie after that guy.
Jeez. All right. Well, hope you guys have a good night. I hope you guys are, well, not even like that, but yeah. Hope you guys have a good night. Hope you guys had a good night watching us. Enjoyed enjoyed us through the technical difficulties. But yeah. Oh, my on repeat. I did have an on repeat. The video's not going to show, but it is Damani Burnout featuring Shad the God, or Shad the God. But yeah.
It's got to be Shad the God.
Shad the
no?
God, I would hope.
think.
Shad the God.
By the way, the man bun looks amazing on camera.
See,
I'm
what you
just
see?
saying. I'm just saying. I like this.
Is the man bun here to stay? Let us know in the comments. So, outside of that, make sure you guys are liking, smashing the like button.
Smash that like button.
We're on YouTube now, so make sure you guys are following us on YouTube. I think we're gonna just go ahead and ditch Facebook, just video, because it's just too much of a our production crew. They're saying that it's gonna be too hard to stream both ways. So I don't know. Make sure you guys catch us. Well, what we'll do is we'll throw
The tubes.
onto Facebook
On the
That's
book.
What we'll do it that way. Not to say we'll get rid of all that, but yeah, a couple changes. Keep rocking with us. We'll be here Monday nights, 8 p.m.s now.
Yes, sir.
8 p.m.s Monday nights. And yeah, we'll rock.
And
it
we'll
that
be
way.
back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Divided We Stand. Very special.
Very, very special.
A very special Blue Lives Matter. No, I'm just playing.
That was Joe. I ain't got shit. I'm gonna just be questioning a pro Blue Lives Matter person. I'm not even gonna be going crazy. I'm not gonna. Just very inquisitive, a concerned citizen.
He certainly has some questions
with-
about you.
Oh, I don't think. You know what? everybody's always ready to everybody's
what?
ready to ask me questions.
Absolutely.
But nobody's ready for my answers.
That's correct. Well, it's funny because I did tell him, I'm like, I think, don't make assumptions. I mean, he's watched the show a few times. He knows who we are. I said, don't make any assumptions on our stances because you'll be wrong a lot more than you're right. I told him, I'm like, none of us want to defund the police. We think that's a bad idea.
No, I just want to restructure. And
we want to
reallocate
restructure,
funds,
retrain. Hell yeah! So, we'll have a great talk tomorrow night. I really look forward to that because again, I'm always saying, I want to get different opinions out there. I want to hear from people. I'm very excited that a police officer retired, mind you, but and a young man too. Just so you know, he's about 56 and he's about 10 years older than me. Great guy. Took good care of me when I was in Maine.
Of course.
And dude, this is one of the nicest dudes. And again, super charitable guy. The kinds of cops I know are all like that. Mm-hmm. And he's going to say some interesting shit tomorrow night about a batch of the police force and what he thinks of it. And then I'm going to ask him how we fix it. So it'll be an interesting conversation.
Good. I can't wait. Can't wait to have it tomorrow night at 8 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Divided we stand. You guys know you guys can find us at I'll Piss You Off Shortly on all social media platforms. You guys can I'llPissYouOffShortly.com will be up and loaded, up and running very shortly with some new merch. Sketchy, we got that coming to you very shortly. I'm gonna put a nice little merch thing package together for you soon. But yeah, I'll Piss You Off Shortly on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, all that good stuff, all that good jazz. Tell a friend and tell a friend. And spend that digital currency. Whether you guys want to hit us up at $, I'll Piss You Off Shortly for Cash App. Share, tell your friend, tell a friend. And yeah, I think that's it. So Rob Benjamin, Joe Aguirre, I'll Piss You Off Shortly. Good night.